So today I thought we would give a little bit of attention to Middle America. That's the middle part of America that you usually fly over, the flyover states. I have wanted to extensively visit Middle America a lot more, but there is a problem in that there are not generally any direct flights from Europe to parts of Middle America, and when you add on the additional flying time and having to be in airport time, I basically lose a day. So if you guys could get more stopovers from European countries, that would be wonderful. Before I get into today's video, do be sure to subscribe, otherwise I'm not going to let Chewy play with the big dogs. He doesn't like playing with the little dogs, only the big dogs, so subscribe and like or comment, or that'll happen. Okay, so these are assumptions. These are things I assume, having never been to most of Middle America. Have I been to Middle America? I don't think so.
Unless we all missed those trips, no, you have not.
These are just the things I assume from what you guys have told me in the comments, and also what I've seen on TV and films, which, yes, is fiction, but we would hope to gather a certain element of truth from it. Okay, so the first thing, and I just have to put this out there because it is so apparent in comments, is that most of you seem to say California and New York are not real America. And I get it, those are like the touristy traps, but at the same time, they're part of America, so I don't know that that's fair to say. I guess a lot of the hyperbole that we see on TV and films comes from New York and LA, so fair enough, that's largely fictitious. But there are bigger parts of California and New York where real people live too, so.
Unreal.
But I do get the fact that a lot of stereotypes are coming from California and New York, and that it's easy to feel categorized by that, so interesting. If you are from Middle America, let me know below in comments if you consider California and New York to be not real America. I'm not going to do this in this video anymore because it feels cliche. The next thing that I assume is that you all either live on huge expanses of farmland or have land that has like a house on it with huge gardens, like you have big front gardens and back gardens. I'm gonna guess those houses have white picket fences. That's in my mind too, and also like those swinging tires on trees. I'm gonna guess that a lot of you know somebody who is involved in an MLM or have been to a Tupperware party. So what I'm gathering from comments is that Middle America is more the conventional style of normative American living, but let me know below in comments. Now, maybe I'm wrong here. Are there huge apartment blocks in Middle America? I'm sure there are. I mean, it's such a big place, but when I picture Middle America, I don't see that. I don't see people being forced to live in tiny apartments like I am in Dublin or like people are in New York. I think you get more bang for your buck in Middle America. So people generally have a lot more space with those huge, distinct houses. Like every house is different. I don't think I see a lot of like homes that are like the same. All the houses look different when I picture Middle America. It's definitely very cinematic in my mind and romanticized, so tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh, it's true, it's true!
I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, probably.
Thanks. The next thing that I assume about Middle Americans is that as teens, a lot of you used to climb out your window conveniently beside a tree.
Hi, Sam.
Now that one definitely comes from movies, but I've also heard people from America say that they snuck out the house a lot as a teenager, which is not something that I really ever hear Irish people having done. Now maybe it's because Ireland is so small that if you were spotted sneaking outside your house, somebody that knows you would see you, and it would probably be somebody who knows your parents. You can storm out of your house as a teenager in Ireland and say that you're going out and F everybody, but people don't really tend to sneak out of their house. I definitely think the idea that teenagers never use the front door is something that's in TV and films only, but there has to be an element of truth in it somehow, so I'm thinking that people really do sneak out the window in Middle America. Teenagers, specifically. It'd be weird if you own the house and you snuck out the window. On that point, I also think that a lot of Americans in Middle America have or had tree houses growing up. And tree houses are kind of baffling. Anytime I've heard of tree houses in Ireland, they have tended to be actual things that were constructed by official businesses or companies, or as I had a Wendy hut, which was actually on the ground growing up, because I can't think how architecturally it is safe to put a house up in a tree. And also, how do kids build those tree houses to the point they trust that they can sit on them and not fall through? Because when I was a kid, I definitely wasn't safe around a hammer and nails. I love hammers and nails now. I love them. This week I got to play with a drill. It was super fun. But a lot of you guys have mentioned in comments that you played in tree houses, and that's kind of crazy because I just can't imagine how that is a safe place to be. Or did your parent build it for you or something? I just can't picture tree houses so much in California or New York or even in Philadelphia, but I can picture them in those big wide landscapes of Middle America. Next up, I think as an adult, a lot of your activities center around either bowling or fishing. In America, you can play bowling professionally. That is not really a thing in Ireland, or that I know of really anywhere else. I'm sure Russians do it because Russians do everything, probably China too. But I have a feeling a lot of Middle Americans really like bowling for some reason. Like, you have bowling leagues and you wear team coats and jackets and tops and stuff. Also, I can tell by just like the pictures that my patrons post in my community section that a lot of Americans enjoy fishing and outdoorsy things like hiking and hunting and stuff. And I do think that is specific to Middle Americans. It's not so much a thing people on the outer edges do. They like go surfing and stuff, man. But yeah, I think Middle Americans like outdoorsy things and bowling. Next up, I think that Middle Americans have close family bonds. I also think Southerners do too, but I think Middle Americans have distinctly close family bonds because I would imagine that a lot of people from Middle America emigrate to other parts of America to go to college and stuff. So I think that they keep in touch with one another a lot that way. Is emigrate the right word when it's within a country? I don't think it is. They just travel. They travel outside of their state to go to university. In turn, then, they obviously get jobs from outside the state that they come from, so it becomes even more important for people to keep in touch with one another, hence close family bonds. I think going back to mom and pop's for like a Sunday dinner is probably a thing that you do in America, at least like once a month or whatever. These are my assumptions, let me know if I'm wrong. On that note, Middle Americans are so defensive about American dishes, American food things. Like, God forbid that one time I said I did not like biscuits and gravy. Never before has everybody been so collectively offended at once that I said I did not like biscuits and gravy. I don't like biscuits and gravy. I have said much worse things here on this channel, and that was the most I was attacked, was saying I didn't like biscuits and gravy. Whoa, fair enough. Also, you guys are kind of defensive about your ranch, but you know, if you said something bad about my sweet and sour dip, I'd also be mad. Sweet and sour dip, not a traditional Irish dip, but it's pretty nice all the same. Another thing that you do not want to down talk to Middle Americans is the meatloaf. They are not as attacky about meatloaf, but they definitely don't like you talking down on meatloaf, and they can give you 100 reasons why meatloaf is good. I just don't like meatloaf, so yeah, sorry. Not sorry, I'm not sorry, I just don't like it, it's not to my taste. Okay, there are things I like you might not like, and I respect your decision. Next up, I think Middle Americans drive a lot. Now, I know all American people drive a lot, but I think Middle Americans drive a lot more when it's not even necessary sometimes. Because things are so far apart, especially in Middle America, I get why you just automatically jump in your car, but I think you guys could jump in your car going to the corner shop as well, and you could just walk there. And I know this because people in the comments have told me so. I can't say what kind of driver I'm going to be because every time I go to do it, something happens, like a pandemic or something. The other excuses are less good than the pandemic, but yeah. But as a result of that, I think you pretty much live in your cars, and you have a spare change of clothes in your car, and you have like deodorant in your car and moisturizer and just all sorts of things that you keep in your car. Maybe a snack. You should actually keep a snack in your car. That's a good idea. Lest your car break down during the apocalypse and you need a snack to stay awake for a short period of time to stay alive. And the number one thing that I assume about Middle Americans is that they are able to take the piss out of themselves. I don't think Middle Americans take themselves as seriously as some of their peers in other parts of America. I think Middle Americans do sarcasm to an extent.
Sarcasm, yes.
I just think they don't take themselves too seriously. I also think they aren't as woke, which could be a good thing and a bad thing, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comments about that. Globally, Americans are seen as very sensitive, but I don't think Middle Americans are as sensitive as the bits on the perimeter of America. But that's just my assumption, maybe I'm totally wrong. Let me know below in comments how wrong or how right I have been. That's it for today, I'll see you on the other side, bye. Look at this floppy little boy. He was sleeping the whole video. Oh, you're very floppy. Oh, yes, it's over. Someone was climbing in my window, I'd be calling the po-po.